Misaka does not usually use her railgun off the bat. Like, if Killua is gonna hit Misaka, surely that would be game over. Like, surely he'd be able to rip her heart out or, like, some of her, you know, internal organs if he got a single hit. Today, I'm going to be reacting to Killua Zoldyck versus Misaka Makoto, and I am very excited for this battle. I am a huge fan of Index and Railgun, the series Misaka is from, and I've also seen the Hunter x Hunter anime quite a while ago. But I'm a fan of both series, love them both. But I am so biased because I am an Index and Railgun YouTuber, so I have to support Misaka all the way, and I have predicted that she will wipe the floor with Killua. But only time will tell. Let's see what happens. Without further ado, let's get this started.
Killua Zoldyck, Hunter x Hunter's prodigious lightning assassin.
Yes, Killua.
Misaka Makoto, Academy City's ace electric princess.
Question. What is more terrifying than the all-powerful crackling might of lightning?
Lightning in the hands of cocky, hyper-talented teenagers. Oh, the worst combination. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
A recipe for disaster.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would
Yeah,
win.
I'll be providing my thoughts as an Index and Railgun fan mostly, to see what they got right.
The Zoldicks, a
And if they
vicious
make any
family of
mistakes.
assassins known the world over.
Okay, Killua's
So infamous for their
introduction.
killing techniques, a single photo of any member sells for millions.
You don't want to be the target of their next family outing. But like all families, there's bound to be a rebel.
As was the case with the middle child, Killua.
They
Very much
seriously
so.
named him Kill? Hardcore.
Well, it might be a pun on the term kilowatt, but kill is apt, given he's been trained in past tensing people since he was 3.
I'll say, at age 14, he was strong enough to open a 64-ton door. Jeez, what kind of
Yeah,
workout did his
physically-
family put him through? Somehow, it gave him 6.
Physically, Killua should be superior to Misaka. I mean, he's trained all his life, but Misaka has better capacity in terms of her maximum power. So I feel like in terms of that, Misaka has the edge, but in terms of pure physical strength, I don't think Misaka can compete. But I don't think it will get that far.
Skater skills, extendable claws, and rhythm echo, a technique that lets him fool people's senses with just his feet.
More accurately, by manipulating the cadence of his footsteps, Killua can create an auditory illusion, capable of tricking even extrasensory abilities.
Killua was a heck of a prodigy, but despite being able to
Yeah, while that Rhythm Echo Mirage thing is quite a potent ability, I guess, or it can be useful, I suppose, against Misaka, I don't see it being that good because she's got like a passive radar where she can like detect electromagnetic waves. So I assume she would be able to detect which one is the real Killua, at least. Only time will tell.
effortlessly rip out hearts, his family still thought he wasn't cold-blooded enough.
Fed up, he ran away. Not to the circus, but to the Hunter Association, an association of people who hunt stuff. There, he tested himself in the Hunter's exam and inevitably had gone head over heels for his new friend, Gon. Get it?
Oh, God, Wiz, are you still taking those waste of time?
Terrible
improv
puns.
classes?
Yes, and I think it's going pretty well.
Killua's family
Boo.
didn't like him making friends, so they sat him down and then calmly and politely tortured him mercilessly as punishment. It
Yeah,
was
but
only
they were
thus to know
brutal.
that Killua finally
Definitely a
confessed his
dysfunctional
soul to let him
family.
go out on
Jesus
adventures with his
Christ.
buddies.
But this change of heart was no act of compassion. Killua's father saw his freedom as just another step in molding him into a better killer. And in some ways, he was right. Through
Yeah.
his adventures, Killua learned Nen, an invisible life force that...
Yeah, it's key. It's always key.
Actually, this one's a bit more complicated.
No, Nen is not key.
Nen is utilized through 4 main principles. 10 for containing your aura.
Key in Dragon Ball is
physical
just who can shout the
attacks.
loudest.
Zetsu for relieving fatigue and masking your presence.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Ren for
qualities to
bolstering
Nen.
strength and influencing emotions.
That's pretty standard so far.
And Hot
The interesting thing is if Killua would be able to use his Nen to scare Misaka, like induce fear within her. I know that's an argument that's being presented quite a lot, but I don't know, it's not something Killua often goes for, really, and I don't know, maybe Misaka would be able to handle it because she's experienced many traumatic events herself and has continued fighting. Well, then it's the mystical quality behind Nen, which is ambiguous, I guess, to determine if it would affect like someone like Misaka or someone with a personal reality as well.
The unique way in which one's nen is expressed. This comes in many forms, but all fall into one of 6 types, which represent how proficient a nen user is at certain techniques.
So it's an RPG class system?
More like a hybrid class system, because most users actually fall somewhere between 2 categories.
Everything's based off video
even with
games.
Differing degrees of proficiency. Techniques from these nen categories can even be further
Yasuhito
enhanced
Nogi,
by adding
he was
rules
badass.
to their use. Oh, then there are the advanced principles.
The shovel.
Oh god, okay, I get it.
But we haven't even talked about Killua's Hatsu yet. Killua is a transmuter enhancer, i.e. he specializes in transmuting his aura into different forms and enhancing the power of himself and others. He uses his aura to...
He makes lightning!
Ride the lightning.
Yes, in Killua's hand, lightning becomes a deadly weapon that he can fire down his own, channel through his arms, or
Bungee gum, which possesses the qualities, or properties I should say, of both rubber and gum. Wow, and what does Pot of Greed do? You can draw 2 cards.
send through metal objects.
The silly
Like
memes.
super alloy yo-yos. These bad boys weigh up to 50 kilograms.
Kill a yo-yo.
That's how you make a pun, Wiz. Packing enough force
Imagine
to
being killed by a
shatter
yo-yo.
frames Like I just shattered Wiz's confidence.
Add in Killua's lightning, and he can electrify.
That was like the biggest
anyone
L
who
you can
touches
take,
him.
just being
And this isn't some magic
defeated by a yo-yo.
lightning. His bolts have been identified as the real deal more than once.
Meaning, Killua is certainly as fast as actual lightning, especially when he uses it on himself to bust out Godspeed, a form that greatly amplifies his agility and power, letting him bypass his synapses.
Yeah, it's interesting that they say Killua is as fast as natural lightning, when I think in the election arc he was trying to get to like a certain place, if I remember correctly, and he had to cover this amount of distance. I'll probably put it on screen, and yet he was stated to be going like at his max capacity, and yet it took him like quite a while to get there, and he was using Godspeed at the same time. So maybe in terms of like combat speed or reactions, but I don't know, not travel speed. I guess the same can be applied to Misaka, because her travel speed sucks.
For regular folk, that much
Unless she has the
won't
anti-yacht
do too
attachment,
much.
but that's another story.
Thanks to Killua's training, he can shrug off over 1,000,000 volts of electricity.
Yeah.
He's also exceptionally crafty.
Yeah, they'll probably mention this later in the video, that, yeah, Killua, I think during that that moment where he withstood like 1,000,000 volts, that he still stated he felt pain while he was shrugging it off, which is interesting. And Misaka's max voltage is 1 billion, and it's not like she doesn't use that often. Like, she's used that against a guy who she didn't want to kill, like Toma. She used her max voltage then. Ironically. But apparently it's the ampage which is more deadly than the voltage. Also, Index says, I don't know about the real science, but someone in the comments probably knows this more than I do. But yeah, with Misaka's max voltage being 1 billion, it's not looking good for Killua. The fact that he felt pain from just 1 million.
In a Nen fight, every move matters, and strategy almost always triumphs, even against greater strength.
Killua
I like that
used
about
these
Hunter x Hunter, there's always
battle
strategy.
world-renowned thieves, bomber mercenaries, and ants.
That may not sound like
Yes,
much,
the
but these
Chimera
Chimera
ants.
were brutal, murdering and eating people.
Those
by
ants were
hundreds of
wild.
Thousands, then threatening
That was such a great
billions.
arc.
Reminds
One of my
me
favorite
an old
arcs of all time, to be
experiment.
honest. Chimera Ant arc.
Killua understandably wanted to bail, but Gon pulled him back in, much to his frustration.
Killua wanted to be there for Gon emotionally, but could not comprehend why he was risking so much against the Chimera ants, going as far as becoming a monster.
In other words, Killua was crushing really hard, but didn't know what to do about Gon's simple-minded
The shippers be wild.
It didn't end well for anyone.
Oh dear.
It
Yeah.
wasn't all doom and gloom, though. Killua held his own against some of the Chimera ants' best, surviving this forest-consuming blast from one of their captains.
Which, judging by its size, was worth several
Here come the
kiloton.
calcs.
And he later injured the top-ranking royal guard, Yuppie.
I'm not a big fan of
Ran for the
calcs.
hills the moment Godspeed wore off, and isn't as strong as the weird horseman. But even just damaging someone who can make a crater like this is nothing to sniff at.
But amidst all the fighting, Killua still could not get his family out of his mind. Literally.
As in, his brother, Illumi, put a needle in his head, forcing him to be controlled by self-preservation, ensuring he'd always...
It's interesting that if Killua still had the needle in his head, that Misaka could just like control it via magnetism and then just like push it further into his brain and kill him, maybe. That's just a thought.
Run when victory isn't guaranteed. Wiz, you think you can call CPS for that?
Thankfully, after some much-needed self-surgery,
Although I should say disclaimer that Misaka isn't, you know, she doesn't really kill people. I mean, apart from like when she's like really angry, like when Accelerator like murdered some clones in front of her. I'm pretty sure she wanted to kill him then, but otherwise, yeah, she doesn't really kill people. But when it's death battle, I feel like, yeah, both sides are willing to kill because it's, you know, it's in the name death battle. It's not like win by KO battle. So I assume Misaka will be bloodlusted for this fight later on.
and self-reflection, Killua removed it, overcoming his mental barrier and ready to risk his life for those he cherishes.
Which he did when he finally got himself and his dear sister Alaka away from their demented family. He even brought Gon back from the brink of his creepy Nen coma.
But despite how valuable Gon was as a friend, Killua realized his unhealthy dependence on him.
So he decided to travel with and protect Alaka, finally realizing what he wants to do for the rest of his life. Oh god, the tearful romantic parting.
Still, if Gon or Alaka ever need help, Killua is sure to come running.
Ready to Killua anyone dumb enough to mess with him or those he cares about.
Okay, good segment.
Academy City.
This is where I'll be judging.
With schools where espers train to master their supernatural abilities.
Most of these youngins dream of rivaling the best espers, but only a few are
Academy
hardworking
City.
and smart enough to do it.
Among them being Tokiwadai Middle School's Level 5 Electro Master, Misaka Mikoto.
Level 5? So she's a Pokemon, but an anime.
Ah, yes.
Each esper's power
Anime Girl Pikachu and Anime Girl Railgun.
and utility is ranked, with level 5 being the highest.
Dislikes vending machines. I mean, it's true. That's funny.
They can normally achieve.
And after working up to that level, Misaka became unstoppable. She can magnetize
Well,
herself to
unstoppable is a bit generous, but stoppable, yeah, I'd say stoppable, but she's pretty strong. Give her credit.
metal, electrically enhance her physique, sense her surroundings through an electromagnetic
Yeah, that's the radar I was talking
and
about.
generate billions of volts.
In
Yeah,
addition, she can make iron sand from disparate particles in the air to form tornadoes, body decoys, or a sword that vibrates at rapid speeds for enhanced cutting power.
Just what an anime girl needs, a chainsaw. Man, if she gets serious,
Ah,
Misaka
chainsaw
can
man.
even make a friggin' 6 million ton kaiju out of it.
With such tremendous power,
Yep, that
Misaka puts an end
kaiju-
to many crimes.
I don't see how Killua is gonna get past that kaiju if she whips it out, because the only way I can see Killua ever winning this fight is if that he's able to like kill Misaka without her using like her crazy forms or anything like that. Because yeah, I don't see how he stands a chance against the kaiju or the AAA or the anti-art attachment, which I talked about in my pre-match video, which you can watch, and a link is in the description. So
Earning fear among criminals, admiration among her peers, and lots of personal pride in her abilities. There was nothing she couldn't overcome.
Nothing except the bane of all tsunderes, a frizzy-haired dumbass.
Toman!
Enter Kamijo Toma.
Yes,
A level 0
the legend
robot
himself.
who Misaka could not harm, no matter how many times she tried.
Oh, I hate you, but I secretly love you, and it'll work out in the end. Shut up! But she'd have more than a dork like Toma to worry about. As amazing as Academy City is, it's more corrupt than New York real estate. Years
True.
ago, Misaka gave some shady scientists a
Academy
sample of her
City is
DNA.
messed up.
They promised it'd help cure tons of fatal
Yeah,
diseases.
she was.
Instead, they made tens of
She was naive,
thousands
but she was
of
only a kid.
clones of her, sending them all to be slaughtered one by one.
Specifically against another level 5 and A-tier edgelord named
We need him on
Accelerator.
Death Battle.
By farming all these
Accelerator on Death Battle,
he might
please.
get enough EXP to
Please.
become a mythic level 6. Is that seriously all it takes? How does this Esper stuff
Okay, that's not what it takes to become a level 6, because this is an actual fact which not many people know about in the anime because it was never stated. It's only stated in the light novel, so you'll only know about it then. But the entire turn Accelerator into a level 6 by killing the clones, that was just all bullshit. It was all just a ploy by Alistair just to spread the clones throughout Academy City. I could explain it in more detail, but that would take a while. But But yeah, you can't like kill clones to level up like some kind of video game. It was all just a scam basically, which makes it really messed up because yeah, Accelerator killed those clones for nothing. Yikes.
Work.
I'm glad you asked. Espers represent the scientific side of the world, a side I'm so familiar with.
Science
All
rules.
Espers possess an involuntary movement or AIM diffusion field that manifests their power, letting them consciously alter reality.
Gene.
He said that the AIM field manifests the power, and that's technically not accurate. It's the personal reality in the mind of the Esper. So essentially, it's like the Esper has like a portion of their mind which then manifests the ability via quantum physics. Like each Esper has their own unique personal reality, and that's what determines what their power actually is. They perceive the world in a certain way in their mind, and then they're able to influence the world via projecting their personal reality and applying it to the exterior world, essentially. And the AIM field is basically the byproduct of that. So the AIM field is essentially energy which is emitted by all Espers. So it's the byproduct of the personal reality, essentially, not the results of the actual power. Although the AIM field is definitely necessary for the power itself at the same time, because there's like a cyborg later on in the light novel which can copy AIM fields, and then it's able to use the AIM fields of the Espers that it copies. So it is important. Like both, you need both basically to use the power. But the personal reality is the thing you start off with.
Changing reality with your mind. Isn't that just magic?
Au contraire, Boomstick, it's quite scientific.
Interesting he says that, because he says, is that just magic? Well, Aleister Crowley basically was heavily inspired. Well, the Aleister in the story and also Aleister in real life, like they took a scientific approach to the concepts of magic. So the artificial Espers that you see in Index were heavily inspired by like the magic side itself. So that's why they are very interconnected. And the more you dig deep, the more you see how truly interconnected the magic and science abilities and sides are.
Look at Misaka's signature move, the Railgun. Many real-life railguns use a set of parallel conductors to generate Lorentz force. By envisioning imaginary rails between herself and her target, Misaka can create a similar yet greater effect, accelerating the speed and kinetic force of a projectile.
I made a video about her railgun as well.
Concussive bullets. It's beautiful. It's science.
It's very clever ability.
Nerding out over this.
Come on, this is like my one thing. Where was I? Oh yeah, thousands of dead clones. Traumatized by the endless slaughter, Misaka felt enormous guilt. You see it all the time with horrific experiences.
Vietnam flashbacks.
She worked for days to end the clone project, but concluded it would have to end with her sacrifice.
But Toma butted in, giving Misaka the support she needed in her darkest hour, while also punching out Albino Magneto with his Esper-proof fist.
What? Albino Magneto. Or albino. Yeah, okay, I get it's a joke, but Accelerator has like way more applications than Magneto. I get that Magneto can do a lot of stuff with his power, don't get me wrong, with like, you know, the magnetism and force fields and all that stuff. Yep, I'm aware of like some of his, you know, abilities in the comics and that. But Accelerator can manipulate vectors, like vectors of physics, so that's like almost any physical force in the world that comes into contact with his, you know, body. So I feel like that's a bit disingenuous, but I know it's a joke. I know it's, yeah. Just wanted to point it out.
Had shouldered her burden for so long that she forgot how to rely on others. This wake-up call from her newfound crush was exactly what she needed.
Character development.
But even with Accelerator decelerated, Misaka kept
Accelerator decelerated, I like that.
All to protect her friends and free her sister clones she befriended. She dealt with a lot of trouble on the way, but had the power to...
Yeah, this is her level 6 shift form, which I mentioned in my pre-match video. So I assume, yeah, she cannot assume these forms on her own, and a full transformation would kill her. So, yeah, I think from that, I think they won't be using her level 6 shift forms, which is I mean, it's a plus and negative because, like, you'd expect her to be able to use her strongest forms, but at the same time, yeah, she can't do it of her own will, and it would be kind of broken because she is so powerful, especially in her last form. That's broken, and I feel like that would just... Killua would just be, like, eviscerated off the bat. Like, he wouldn't be able to get even close to her.
Do it.
In her battle with a killer cyborg lady, Misaka conjured a city-spanning storm, which, by measuring the size of the cloud relative to the city, would
Oh, here we go, in more
58
calcs.
kilotons of energy to make.
Kilowatts. She's also
Just throw numbers at the screen.
not just accelerator.
And I'll nod.
She got into a middle school beef with a snobby telepath.
Oh, we got some feats from the light novel as well. Stalemated Brunhild Eichtobel. Comparable to Accelerator in speed, Accelerator's got quicker physical speed than her, like travel speed, because he can, use his vectors to actually propel himself forward. But yeah, reactions, combat speed, probably around the same, I guess. I'd probably say Accelerator, yeah, a bit faster, in my opinion. Perhaps in terms of what Accelerator did, like when he was fighting. Like, he blitzed Salome, who was reacting to everything Misaka was throwing at her. This is in the light novel, by the way. But Accelerator actually blitzed her before she could even react. So I'd say Accelerator faster than Misaka. But yeah, comparable, you could say. I'm not going to nitpick too much.
Explosive weirdo and dodged particle beams from an unhinged Karen.
The electrons of which can accelerate to
Wait, let me just go back a sec.
Dodged
Defeated Kiyama, Fender, Mugano, Double Gamma. Yeah. Well, saying she defeated Kimi is a bit generous because she wouldn't have defeated Kimi, I don't think, without Ueharu's power, which I won't get into because I won't spoil the manga for people who haven't read it yet. But yeah.
particle beams from an unhinged Karen.
the electrons of which can accelerate to high relativistic speeds.
It's no shock.
Yeah.
Misaka's reactions are that.
Yeah, because Mugano's Meltdowner, she can fire electrons at high speed. It's not stated what speed they're fired at, but it is stated that they're not a particle or a wave. So you could say it is somewhat like light in that regard. Again, I'm not the best with physics, but what do they say here? Accelerated electrons are normally either a wave or a particle. Yeah, it's an in-between state. Okay, relativistic speeds of a wave and concussive forces of particle. I'm assuming that's right. Again, I'm not the biggest physics buff, although I do know a lot about this series, but I'm not the best on the physics side of thing. I got like a C in physics at school, so I'm not the best. I'm more of a history, magic. I'm more of a magic side person. I know the religion and mythology. Well, apart from the Norse stuff, I'm not great on that. But the history stuff, yeah, that's more my cup of tea.
Fast, given her lightning has been stated to be light speed on 5 different occasions.
Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with the light speed quotes because, okay, yeah, technically, like electricity isn't really light speed because, yeah, that would be kind of physics breaking. But it is produced via her warping reality, thanks to her applying her personal reality to the world. And with her max voltage being 1 billion, that's kind of like the same as natural lightning. So that's like massively hypersonic. So, like, if you look at her max voltage, that kind of contradicts like these statements in a way. So I kind of have I'm not sure what to think about the light speed quotes, but because they're kind of contradicted if you look at the voltage and that, but I don't know. Tell me what you think about it. Those of you who read the novels.
More than just her powers, though, Misaka's greatest asset is her intellect.
It might not look it, but high-level espers constantly perform tons of nerd math just to make their powers work.
And understanding other powers has been just as vital to Misaka's survival. Take her bout with the magic Valkyrie, Brunhild.
Remember when we
yeah, they're talking about the light novels. Nice.
Side of the world? Well, these weirdos are packing the magic. A single mistake from Misaka could have meant death, but she still stalemated Brunhild.
Now, Brunhild was still stronger and faster, but it is impressive Misaka was able to...
Saints have enhanced speed and strength. I mean, they move at supersonic speeds. I know Misaka lightning is meant to be light speed and that, but yeah, it's mainly attack speed rather than like travel speed. But Saints, they got like supersonic travel speed, combat speed, reactions, everything. So they are really fast in every category. And yeah, they are physically very powerful.
To harm a Saint, who are normally only deployed against foes capable of leveling mountains.
Yeah.
One such foe, Hell, throws 100 kilometers.
Oh my god, this is so niche. They're actually talking about Hell from Gremlin. Like, this character, for those of you who don't know, like, they don't even have an illustration. That's how niche they are. Like, the light novel illustrator, Haimura, either couldn't be bothered to draw them or wasn't asked to draw them. And yeah, they're in like 1 or 2 scenes in like NT8, I think. Yeah, it says New Testament Volume 8 there. I'm gonna give that a round of applause. I'm impressed. Like, I did not expect such a niche character without even like actual physical like drawing to their name to show up. Good stuff. I'm impressed.
Of ocean.
You'd think this means Misaka can take on all sorts of magical baddies. But alas, the power creep says otherwise.
He's actually serious when you're...
Power creep in Index? What do you mean? Like, literally, Index has a strange power creep, because you start off with, like, okay, you got Saints who can, like, bust mountains and that in the first volume. You don't really know that yet, but you gather that Kanzaki's, like, really powerful. And then the second volume, you got a reality warper who can, like, reverse time and insta-kill people. That ups the stakes quite a bit. Then you got Accelerator the next volume who can, like, destroy the world if you tried hard enough. And he's got, like, the Vector bullshit power. And then the next volume, you've got an Angel with, like, the Sweep spell, which can, control all the stars in the sky to then launch as weapons with the Astro in hand. And then it goes back down to, like, war-level teleporters fighting each other. So... saying Index, okay, in New Testament, you do have, like, quite a few powerful characters that can destroy universes and stuff, but at the same time, like, the power creep for Index isn't as clear-cut as it's always getting stronger. It sometimes reverses, sometimes goes up, so I don't like it when people say Index has, like, a annoying power creep, but whatever.
You're dealing with crazy magicians and magic gods, even a level 5 Esper struggles to keep up. Misaka valued her...
Yeah, okay, to be fair, like, Misaka at the moment has been power crept out the story. Okay, I went on a massive rant and I'm contradicting myself, but it's true. Like, but that's kind of the vibe Kamachi is going for in the latest light novels at the moment, that there's just so many powerful magicians at the moment that the science side is struggling massively. And I think that's one of the major themes, that to truly compete, you have to understand the magic side of the world. And that's what Misaka tried to do, to be fair. She tried to understand magic, and she wants to be able to, like, fight alongside Toma. So I like how it's applied in the story anyway. What does this say? In New Testament GT, Misaka used a mech suit called the anti-art attachment. However, it's fairly divorced from a normal power set and is currently destroyed. Yeah, I don't know. I want to say it's fairly divorced from a normal power set, because the anti-art attachment can also use, like, the railgun as well. It definitely, like, helped her a lot in terms of giving her, like, a necessary buff, but yeah, she can't use it anymore, unfortunately. But I hope it does appear in this, at least, because, come on, it's like one of her standard equipment in the light novel when she does have it. She uses it all the time when she does.
That she struggled to maintain her self-esteem when they weren't enough.
A shame Misaka cares so much about getting stronger when Toma appreciates her as a person first and foremost.
While certainly a flaw, that ever-persistent hard-headedness will also keep Misaka around, no matter the stakes.
So watch out, because this pint-sized 14-year-old is quite literally a...
Okay, here goes the battle. Let's see who's gonna win this. Come on, Misaka. Oh, it's Academy City. Okay.
Hey, that's mine. I've been looking for it all day. Give it here.
You want it? Come and get it.
Okay, she's using railgun off the bat. Okay, I get that she's trying to... Okay, this is their battle, and I guess they're all bloodlusted. They want to kill each other, I guess, but... Misaka does not usually use her railgun off the bat. I think the only time she's done it is when she did have the anti-yacht attachment deployed already. I like when she used the liquid-proof railgun against Mathers. But yeah, usually in her base form... She does not start off with her trump card. This is kind of out of character. But I guess there's creative liberties to the fight. But at the same time, it's like, what? She's using her railgun. Whoa.
Coins, huh? I had a butler who used these.
Yep. Okay, I get, yeah, they'll trade off at the start. They'll make it the fight more even than it probably would be. But to be honest, like if Killua is gonna hit Misaka, surely that would be game over. Like surely he'd be able to rip her heart out or like some of the, you know, internal organs if he got a single hit. Okay, here we go. Yo. Are you serious? Let's rewind that back. Okay, she does look behind, so she does detect him, but she just doesn't. I guess she reacts to it, but her body just doesn't move around in time. That's kind of weird. But yeah, like her radar should pick him up, because I don't think those mirages or whatever you call them would generate an electromagnetic field. But I don't know. And surely Misaka should be dead by now. Like Killua just got like a few free hits, but I know they're creative liberties. Make it even at first. That should be death.
It's a trick of sound, not sight.
Sound, not sight. Or use your radar, maybe. Okay. Another railgun. Killua blocks the railgun?
He's good at handling.
He can block... Killua can, like, withstand the railgun in base when it's accelerating, like, a crazy speed? Okay.
Hand. Better keep my distance.
She has stronger lightning. Gotta get in close. No problem.
Yeah, Killua, you have to get in close. That is definitely the strategy. Oh, we're flying. Woo! Magic carpet ride. A whole new world. Da, 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 da. Okay. He's escaped.
No time to break.
What happened then? Did she teleport? What the hell? Wait, what happened then? What the hell was that? Misaka can't teleport. I don't know what that was. Did she use like what's it called? Rampage dress to move like really quickly? Because it was like the lightning effect as well. That's not even high speed. That's like teleportation. Like, yeah, I'm not sure about that. What the hell? Oh, she got hit. Oh, okay, she got hit. All right, my mistake. Okay.
Now's my chance.
Godspeed.
You don't know when to quit.
Rosa. This is like a Dragon Ball Z fight. Where I'm all like charging up power. Like, what the hell is this? Someone's definitely watched too much Dragon Ball after this. Oh, here comes the kaiju. Let's go. Kaiju railgun. And he dodges it. And she just killed a bunch of people.
Together with electromagnetism.
Nice one, Misaka. You just killed a bunch of civilians. Damn, that was powerful. That was massive. Can Killua generate that much lightning at that capacity? What?
Wait a minute.
Oh, it's a fake. It's a Iron Sand clone.
Distance, 35 meters.
Like fucking Shadow Clone Jutsu. What is that? Has Misaka used that? I don't think she's ever used something like that from what I can remember in the novels and manga. Where she's like made a clone, like a perfect like clone of herself, and then tricks someone, and it's like also a trap. That's like someone out of Naruto. I don't remember that happening. Yeah, I don't know.
Altitude, 45.
Okay.
40, now.
Okay, the way she won that fight with, like, the clone. Let me rewind that. Right, let's get to that part. Because that is, like, a perfect image of her. Yeah. I am really unsure about that. And then it's like a trap as well. It's got the iron sand as well. And then it's... Yeah. Misaka has not done that.
Distance, 35 meters.
Ever.
Altitude, 45, 40.
Unless I'm forgetting something. Or it happened in non-canon, which I haven't read. I read all the index canon apart from like the latest chapters of Railgun. But non-canon, I haven't read all of that yet.
The angle, the electromagnetic.
Let's let him explain this.
It's.
All right, take a breather there, champ.
While Killua's assassin training made him a vicious threat, Misaka's abilities and know-how gave her the counter she needed in this mind-numbing battle of wits.
Killua could survive kiloton level blasts, and given some leeway, could scale to Yuppie, whose crater feat was worth 18 megatons.
Killua scaling to Yuppie? I don't know. Like, I think I talked to a Hunter fan about this in, like, the comments. Like, does Killua with Godspeed even scale to, like, the Royal Guards? Okay, I get that he did well against Yuppie, but at the same time, yeah, okay. Was able to block Yuppie's explosion, which, while at only 35% power. Yeah, I mean, I'd say that the Royal Guards are still, like, way ahead of, like, Killua Godspeed. I don't know, Hunter fans, let me know what you think.
Tons of TNT.
Impressive, but the storm Misaka created beat anything Killua has done directly. And given similar scaling to Brunhild, who Misaka not only harmed but stalemated, her output could reach hundreds of megatons of TNT. Meaning, no matter which numbers are used, Misaka would always have the advantage in raw electrical power.
True.
No surprise there. Killua may have shrugged off 1,000,000 volts of electricity, but Misaka can dish out and survive billions.
Still, both characters have contended with and harmed stronger opponents, and the two power systems they work under have allowed weaker opponents to defeat stronger ones in the past.
So, might alone wouldn't net either a win. Plus, Killua was way better at hand-to-hand and physically stronger.
Knowing his crafty assassin skills, things could have gone south for Misaka if she wasn't careful.
But fortunately for the Railgun, she was. Her fight with Brunhild shows she knows how to deal with tough, up-close threats while keeping her distance.
Yeah, that's true.
Being able to dodge particle beams meant Misaka was more than fast enough to react to even Killua's light.
Killua, in that moment when he takes out the clone, like, he even pulls her heart out, and there's no way Misaka would be able to make, like, an iron sand heart to, like, scale which looks realistic. There's no way.
Lightning quick speed.
Add to that her bigger pool of powers, and she had plenty of ways to counter Rhythm Echo, since Killua was lightning, or just pin him in place long enough to pull up.
Yeah, Misaka wins, but I don't know how I feel about the way she won. Like, I agree that she deserves to win, but what the hell was that?
And killing. But Misaka's varied electro powers,
like, I want to know the source for that. Like, okay, someone tell me, where did they get that from, where she uses the clone and makes a perfect copy of herself?
And scientific brilliance let her cash in a win.
But hey, at least she let Killua keep the change. She Killua'd him.
Well done.
The winner is Misaka.
Hey, justice prevails.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.
Okay, yep. So I enjoyed that. I thought it was good. Like, I like the fact that they brought a lot of feats from the light novel as well. Like, they mentioned hell. I was not expecting that. Like, hell. But yeah, I'm impressed by that. But yeah, I'm of course very happy Misaka won because she deserved to. It was obvious. Like, I predicted that she would win from, you know, knowing about both series, but especially from my knowledge of Index and Railgun. But yeah, like, what was, like, the way she won? Like, someone comment, because I personally do not remember her ever doing something like that, even in the light novel. But yeah, I'd say Death Battle, you've done a pretty good job. Obviously, there were creative liberties here and there, which is understandable. Killua should have won off the bat if he ever got, like, some stray hits on her. But Who cares? Otherwise, I'd say good job, and I'd be very happy to see Accelerator on one of these soon. Like, I'd love that. So please, Death Battle, if you're watching this, put Accelerator on the channel. That'll be amazing. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and check out my other Index and Railgun videos about Misaka, because I do that a lot here. And I'm also going to do a post-match, like, full analysis of this fight, so stay tuned on the channel for that. I'm looking forward to discussing this matchup in intricate detail, so very excited. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.